Hello, thank you so much for this time. I want to appreciate everyone who is watching me live today. I've stayed for some time without being live, and I believe you're okay. I just want to know. I want to know. I just want to know how you're doing, and those who are watching me live on Facebook, and also those who are watching me on YouTube, please go ahead and comment. Go ahead and comment. I'll be super excited to receive your comments. I'll be super excited to receive your comments. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for your comments. Yeah, you can go ahead and comment. Let me know where you're watching me from. Yeah. Comment. Let me know where you're watching me from. I today thought of coming up to share life experience of really what happens, accepting who you are and working on yourself. You know, in life we need to accept who we are, and we need to embrace and accept who we are, because if we don't accept who we are, we end up beginning to pretend and living a fake life. Living a fake life in the life of a human being is not the best option for any individual or any person who breathe in the face of the earth. We have gotten people in life who have decided to live a life which they are not. At the end of the day, their price attached to the life they're living, and so by doing that, they cannot sustain the life they are in. But when you begin to live a simple life, and that is a life that you are, you can easily sustain that life. You can easily sustain that life. Even if you go through lack, you can still sustain that life. And if you begin to live a life which is not of you, you begin to see somebody's lifestyle, and because you fear to be laughed at, you fear to be mocked, you fear for the community to begin to categorize you under a certain group of people, or you are trying to be a kind of a person that you are not, because maybe you have a wife, you have a girlfriend, or you have somebody you're in love with, so you want to live a life that you are not. At the end of the day, you cannot sustain the desire of that woman. You cannot sustain the desire of that man. Why? You have been pretending for a long time, and time has come where you cannot go ahead to sustain that life. So what happens? You begin to degrade. You begin to go into lack, and when lack comes, you begin to steal. You begin to deceive. You begin to speak lies. You become insecure of yourself, insecure of anybody who comes around you, because you don't want them to dig who you are. And remember that lies can never be sustained for long. I'm here only for 30 minutes, and I want to just take 30 minutes and I conclude. Yeah, only 30 minutes, then I will conclude this. I just felt of sharing this. I felt a conviction within myself to be able to bring this to our notice and to understand that we don't live to impress others, but we live to make ourselves better. The things that God created humanity is number one is to connect with one another. We are not created to be alone. If God wanted man to be alone, Adam would be alone. That God created man to connect. There is what I call circle of connections, where you connect to this one to connect to another one. So we live by connections. But that is not the reason why I'm here. I'm here to try and advise the young men, young generations to live true life. Live your life. No matter how hard time you go through, doesn't matter what, even if you don't eat, you eat once a day. Please embrace that life for now. Don't begin to put yourself on pressure because you see there's someone you're in love with, so you want them to see you on that life and you want to be at that cost of life, and yet you are not of that level. Please don't go for that. Don't go for that. I would suggest that you should begin from a humble life. Begin from a humble life. You know, when you don't accept the humble beginning, before I begin to talk about how or maybe what you can do or what you should do to make your life better. Now listen, there are things when you begin to practice at the time where you have not yet been or gone or reached the climax or the peaks of success. You can never reach there because you are believing a life that you are not. You see, the reason as why you are remaining the way you are remaining is because you failed to plan. You failed to plan. If you are being given the opportunity, money and everything you're being given, everything you ask you are given, there is no excuse of life. God gave man to have a brain. The brain is to think on how best you can make your life better. And through prayer, we pray to God to open up our lives, to bless our families, to bless our children, bless our marriages, bless our relationships. You know what I'm saying? So, but one of the things that beside prayer, you need to also work on yourself. What is the kind of life that you are living on today? What are some of the life you are living on today? You're living your real life or you are living a fake life? Because a fake life is constant. It's just like having a girlfriend that you spend a lot of money on her. You stayed with her, or you were with a boyfriend. You spend a lot of money with that man, and you stayed for over 6 years. You're dating each other for 6 years, and in that dating, you've been spending money on that particular man. You've been spending money on that particular woman. After 6 years of your dating, the man decides to leave, or the woman decides to leave, and you are deep broken up in your spirit. Your heart is wounded. You no longer have anybody you can run to, and you know that now there is really a very big problem in your life. So what should you do? You should now begin to rebuild yourself back. Now, when you enter into something without realizing you have proper foundation or realizing the need of that person, what does he need or what does she need, you may end up in pain. Before you entangle your life into somebody's life, you first need to find out what is the need of this woman. Is money her problem, or is the husband her problem? There are people today, there are men today in the real life that money is not what they look in a woman. They look in a woman reliability, availability, which is the same as reliability. They look in a woman a mother. They want to find out, are you a mother type or a mother figure, or maybe you are a go-getter. You're just saying you are a gold digger. Let me say like this: you came to dig out the gold in her or the gold in him. So they are so reserved with their life. They want to know, this person, has he come to drain me or to develop me? You get what I'm saying? There is a difference between draining and development. There are people that you get entangled with, that if you entangle yourself with, the day you entangle yourself with, you begin to experience drainage in your life. And there's no development, there's no idea. Their work is just to sleep and drink. They're after chips and chicken. There's nothing like family. What is the future of this family? Where are we heading? What is in our plan? Where are we? What are we investing? What are we planning? What's the next step of our life? How are our children going to live? What are some of the plans for our children? These are some of the things you begin to look at. Now, you can begin this by living a real life, accepting who you are, and beginning to plan towards it. If there is no pain in you, if you don't feel the pain in you, you will never take certain step in life. There are people who will manipulate you. There are people who will manipulate you and drain you. And all the wisdom and the skill that you should have put in your own life, you end up giving them. There is nothing, they keep on making you run like a zero grazing. Zero grazing is a kind of grazing where you tie a goat in a pig, and the goat keeps on rotating in the same circle, grazing within the circle. And that goat doesn't go anywhere. It gets the pasture around there, and the leg gets into, until even the grasses around there, it dries up because of the food of the goat. So why? The goats keep on rotating in the same circle until you make a decision in your life, until you make a decision, a very strong decision. You see, every time you make a strong decision, sometimes people will not agree with that decision. In other words, people may not accept the fact that you made the decision. They will always give you a dead end. They'll give you that there's no hope in where you're going. And yet, persistence makes the best come out of you. And positive critic makes the best comes out of you. People who don't accept who they are and don't accept positive critics, they cannot develop. If someone criticizes you, accept it. If someone speaks of something about your life, accept it. Certain times, accept it. Because in a certain angle, they will see the strength. You'll see the strength of how you can improve yourself. I want to share briefly about a certain lady called Manpreet. Manpreet is right now is a billionaire in dollars. Is a millionaire in dollars. And one of the touching stories that she had to mention or share with people on one of the interviews that she had, she said that she was criticized by her nephews, and she wanted to become a plane hostage. In other words, ladies who work in the plane and serving in the plane. And she was criticized, and when she was criticized, by her nephew and cousins, their family, some of their family's siblings, she decided to go to another thing, but not the plane hostage. You get what I'm saying? So she was criticized, but she never gave up. She had to leave her family, leave where these nephews of their friends are or their family are, to go to another place where she's not familiar at all. So the decision she made is, number one, she left the family of familiarity, the circle of familiarity, and went to a place where she can begin to develop herself. Now she tried saloon work, She tried different business. She flew from Italy to UK. She was looking for what to do, and she actually didn't make it in salon until she went into real estate agent, and there she began to make money. When she began to make money, and that is where she began to gather her wealth, gather everything concerning her life. Why am I bringing this story? It's because that story touched me. That story really touched me, and I felt there's something that we need in life by listening to other people's story, which will motivate you to go to another place. Now, this makes you to know that a place where people know you and familiar you can never be developed. They will always take you as a useless person, and they know that you can never become a better person until you leave that place and go to a place where you're motivated, a place where they believe in you, a place where your vision come to pass. You can achieve what took you 5 years or 10 years not to achieve, and you can achieve it in just less than 1 year. And that is a place where you have to be. So it's better than living a fake life. You know what I'm saying? It's better than living a fake life. You accept who you are and you work towards it. But when you work towards it, it makes you a better place. I am actually giving this because some of us, we went through that. Some of us, we are still going through that. Some of us, in some point or the other, we are being affected. Manipulators. We are being affected by people who don't see the best out of us. That is true. Most of the people down there are going through the same thing. So, until you get a person who really believes in you and trusts you and makes all your plan come to pass, nobody and no one who wants to, who thinks better for you and doesn't plan for you. Until you get a person who has a good plan for your future, then that's the plan too. Where you can see that this person has a plan like this for me, has a plan like this for me. And that is the kind of a person you can live with. That is the kind of person you can embrace yourself with. Someone who wants to see you glowing, someone who wants to see you shining, someone who wants to see you miserable, someone who wants to see you crying, begging. You know what I'm saying? So those are the kind of people that we have to associate ourselves with, because the kind of association that you associate yourself with will determine the amount of collection you can collect. You see, it's better for a person to give you a net than a person to give you a fish. Because when a person gives you a net, the person gives you, you forgive me, the light is not really very good here. It's not really very strong. That's why you can see darkness in my face, and the tone of my skin isn't coming out well. But it's okay, it's fine. So you end up being manipulated. You end up being you living a fake life. Once you see in an environment where you don't see growth, you don't see where you're going to make other people are favored and you are not favored. It's like you are like there's a kind of segregations and maybe indifferences in that way, I can say. In that environment, you can never grow. It's very difficult for you to grow, you know. And that makes really life very hard for people to navigate. That's why you can find some people becoming thieves, some people becoming robbers, deceivers. They don't have integrity, they don't have truthful, they cannot be good steward. Why? It's because they have seen the environment is not productive. Once you begin to see environment, if you see a person who begins to see an environment becoming productive, he begins to develop himself in that kind of environment. There are people who left certain environment and they went to a place and their life changed totally. And you begin to see that they are really shining. You begin to see that they are really making it in life. And you're like, wow, But what was I wasting time on? Really, where was this person? You see, there are people that you meet. There are people that when you meet them, your life changes. You forget the pain of the past 10 years. There are people, their husbands, their wives. You meet them. They are not there to drain you, but are there to make your life better. Those are the kind of people that God puts them in our life. Those are the kind of people that God brings in our destiny to make our life better. There are people you meet and it drains you totally. Even the little you had, you no longer will not at all will you have any. Why? They are not a right people to navigate, mingle, and mix yourself with. But there are people that they believe in you, they trust you, they make plan, visible plan. They don't have strings attached to their relationship with you. They really believe in you. They're like, when they're helping you, they help you with free hand. There is nothing attached to it. These are people that we have to stay with. People who comes in our life and say, I want to make your life better. No matter the challenges you're going through, no matter who comes to speak wrong about you, I'm there. God has put me to help you. They don't care how much people say, how many words the people say. They don't really care. What they care is to make your life better. They don't care. Those are the kind of people you need to live your life with. You don't have to live your life with people who sees you as a minor person, as a person who is amounting to a nothing. Now listen, church, if you are watching my video, sometimes it's not good to speak words, negative words on your children, because those words follow them. Learn to speak positive words on your children, because words are life. They live on the surface of the earth. So they keep on rotating on somebody's head. Every time you speak a word, they keep on rotating on someone's head. And that word becomes effective in that individuals because of how you're spoken it. So that's why Western cultures, they believe in motivating their children. They speak positive things on their children. They speak positive things on their children. By speaking positive things on their children, their children becomes productive in life. You never see them as failures. There's a difference between speaking negative words and positive criticizing somebody negatively and criticizing someone positively. These are two different things altogether, you know. So I believe that wherever you're watching me from, your life is blessed, and I believe that God has very incredible plans in your life. You see, sometimes we think we were born to do this. Sometimes you think you were born to do this, do that. And from nowhere, if you meet a destiny helper, say, no, you're not born to do this. You were born to do this. And maybe you are not very good in this area. I think let me introduce you to this area. If you introduce you to you begin to see growth. You begin to see growth in that area. No matter what the critics, no matter what you went through, you begin to see it. Why? Because positive critics, it creates positive results. I want to salute Manpreet. I really want to salute you. I really don't know. It's like God made me meet you. It's God designed to meet you, and sometimes I sit and say, God, who's this person that finally I've met? You know, if I begin to, some people say my face is a baby face. Yeah, I learned how to take care of myself and also take my time in prayer and praying a lot. But for your information, I was born in 90s, so in 90s. So you don't look like a person of 90s. I look like a person of maybe 1999 or 2000. You get what I'm saying? So a little bit difficult. So begin to put your mind, take care of yourself, mind of this body you which is carrying you, mind of it. Live a life that even if they throw you in the bush, you can live. Even if things begin to come. You see, a person who grew up from a poor poverty life can sustain wealth when God promotes him to there. Even if he meets a poor person, he knows that this person is poor. I have to do this to help her or help him. He knows. But a person who doesn't care, doesn't have a heart of people, steps on people like rubbish, doesn't want to help others. When they see a mistake, they speak to help. But if a person hates you, will keep quiet and speak nothing. I was reading about Indian women. I was reading many things about Indian. I'm doing a lot of research about Indian women because I got to be motivated by one of the gentleman who was talking more about Indian women. So I was studying more about them, just to know about them. So I learned a lot from. You take your time and go and research about them. You like it. You like it by yourself. So I don't want to take you there. You just go and research. You learn a lot. It's good to learn from different people. You learn from Americans. You learn from Italian. You learn from Indians. You learn from Chinese. You learn from all Asians. You begin to learn from all these people so that you can know life. You begin to live a local village life for long. Your mental, if they happen to drop you in Dubai accidentally, you may get confused and don't know what to do. Why? It's because you don't think, you don't have the ability to have visions. So allow me end here because my time is fast spent, and I've now so far gone for 27 minutes, so I'm finalizing only for 30 minutes. So I'm ready with 3 minutes. So live your life, don't fake your life. Even living a fake life has made very many marriage collapse. You know, you come into somebody's life thinking that is who he is, that is who she is. And as time goes on, you realize he was living a fake life. After finding out he was living a fake life, there's no marriage, because a marriage without truth is a marriage that cannot be sustained, or that kind of a marriage you don't have to live in. So living a fake life is very costly. By the time you realize you waste a lot of time, you would have wasted a lot of time, you would have cut off connections and relationship with people. Living a fake life. Living yourself, help people come to help you to become better. So thank you so much for being with me and listening to this broadcast. May God bless you. And we'll meet again. God bless you. I appreciate. I remain as Brother Solomon, and I'm humbled to talk to you today. And thank you. You can share, comment, and like it. May God bless you. You can go on my YouTube channel, Brother Solomon, and also Facebook page, Brother Solomon or Bro Solomon. You can go ahead and we go and find more about that. Thank you so much. God bless you in Jesus' name.